Hello everybody, video here for you today. Ramsey show has not been posted yet. Let's make sure. Yep, not posted yet for today, so I'll start a stream for my friends to chat. And also I'll look at some more. There we go, that works. Volume is working. Okay, and what do we want to do? We want to give my plugs, which is at the end of this video. There we go. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me. If you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can do that at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. And you can schedule that. You can email me about coaching, or if you have any questions about the Ramsey stuff or anything else on my YouTube channel, like Oak Island or computer stuff or anything. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. I actually put something on there the other day. And of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Alrighty, we'll leave that up. The baby steps. This is the plan here from Mr. Ramsey. And normally, any questions can be answered by this. Sometimes not, though. But most often they can, either by these 7 steps, or there's baby step 0 and baby step 3B. 3B is right in here before step 4, where you save for a down payment for a house if you don't already have one. If you start the plan and you have a house already, you have a mortgage already, that is perfectly fine. You don't have to sell it in most cases, or some cases anyway. So we're going to go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and we'll sort by new, and let's answer some questions. Let's see, this from Jackalope 1619, 31-year-old male. Net worth hit 200K today. Excellent. 100K to 200K in 26 months. That's pretty good. Yep, it's pretty good. I'll aim 2022 was for the markets. Household income went from 115K to 152K in this time period. Excellent. That'll help. Definitely haven't been gazelle intense. Just automated stuff, including maxing out our retirement, which baby step 4, 5, and 6, you don't have to be gazelle intense anymore. You can chill a little bit. And I do cover that in my baby steps song. If you go down to the music playlist, my Ramsey adjacent songs are here. Rachel Cruz song, and I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. It's me stealing from Elton John, like all the pop stars do. And John Deloney's song, and of course me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. Fun times. People there made sure he heard it. And of course the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps song and temporary lyric video. I've not done a new one. And so that remains the only video of it, other than all the live ones that I've done in the Ramsey Show After Show, which I used to do up until, 7 months ago. I used to do that daily after the show because I had time for that, so I did that. Let's see. So, but anyway, where were we here? Baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Below his post from when he hit 100K, 41 months from negative 23K, so 23K in debt to 100K net worth. So excellent. Yeah, but yeah, you don't have to be gazelle intense once you get to baby step 4, because you have all your consumer debt paid off. That means all non-mortgage debt is paid off, and you have a full emergency fund saved already. And then you start the investing, which is 4, and kid college, which is 5, and then paying off the house early, which is 6. And so you don't have to be as gazelle. You can have some more fun with money, travel, etc., whatever you put in the budget. You just do have to keep in mind whatever fun things you put in the budget for money, that is less that will go on the house. All right, let's see what else there. A little Amex ad right there. Let's see. Boomerang Wilma. Interesting. Attention, people who actually love their jobs. People who actually love their jobs and feel it appropriately supports their lifestyle. What do you do? Actually loving a job when I was doing computer repair and actually managing the shop and also doing the repair. I did love that job. And let's see, feel it appropriately supports their lifestyle. Yeah, because that's decent money on that. Posted out of mere curiosity. Oh, that's it. Okay. All right. But yeah, it's best if you love your job, because it feels less like a job. Side hustles, always. This might have been discussed before, but what are some good side gigs for an attorney? I think we did specifically this. Let's see, Colossus of Rose. I think that might have been the same person that did it a few days ago, that tried to get the same thing. I think it was a prosecutor that asked, and so depending on state laws, you might not be able to do like any defense, that kind of thing. For any other clients, you may not be able. You may only be able to work for the state itself. So it just depends on your state laws what you can do, and that would be the most money. You can use that law degree for multiple things. What up, Sid? All right, she's in a meeting, so no audio for her. Boom. Let's see, Steamy Deck. Baby step 1 flare, and of course that is, where did I put that? Right here. Save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. And that is step 1 in all plan. Like all plans, it starts with step 1. That would be the baby step song. Let's see. To those of you with an expensive smartphone, that wouldn't be me, would you use your emergency fund to replace it? Not if you just want a new one. If it like completely dies and you can't be without a phone, if you honestly consider that, to be honest, if you honestly consider that an emergency, then it's your emergency fund. Hopefully it actually is an emergency and not just, oh, I want the new iPhone. So let's see, it occurred to me that my whole life is on this thing. That does happen, not necessarily data. It's all backed up. Also other Star Trek characters. But I use it for work, learning, entertainment, content creation, note-taking, photography, music, calendars, and the oodles of other apps. Justification station here, maybe? Let's see, I would be pretty lost without it. I very much think that if I didn't have insurance on it, I wouldn't hesitate to drop $1,200. Okay, beep, beep, beep. on a new one if something were to happen. Has Dave ever talked about this? You don't need to spend $1,200 on one. It doesn't have to be the latest iPhone. You could get a cheaper phone and do all of the stuff that you want to do on it. You could do that on a much cheaper Android phone. You can do all of that. And you're just on baby step one. So, and that would take the whole baby step one plus $200 to do that, plus tax probably. And expensive eggplant one says no. It's a lifestyle change and topic for another forum, but I'm very happy with my $70 dome phone, and you can get smartphones for that price as well. Let's see, $1,200 phone, not an emergency. My lord, $1,200. Okay, so pretty much everybody is doing my type of thinking as well. Where on baby step one, there's no place for a $1,200 phone. If you have one already, you don't necessarily need to get rid of it and replace it with a cheaper one. Just like your car, if you have a car payment, you don't necessarily have to sell it. It just depends on how that fits in with your income and the rest of your expenses. But yeah, $1,200, man, that is expensive. All right. Let's see. Throw this one away. 4444. Throwaway account. I get it. Realistically, how quick could you pay off $175 in student loans? Depends on how much you make, obviously. Let's see, what would be some people's thoughts and strategies to pay off $175K in debt? I have a salary of $61K a year, about $3,800 a month. Bonus could be anywhere from extra $2 to $10K a year. With OT, I can bring home closer to $4,400 a month. Living expenses total about $1,400 a month. That's not too bad. Is throwing $2K a month at the debt feasible? Well, let's see, $4,400 a month is your bring home pay, and living expenses is 14, so that leaves 3,000. So why not 3,000 instead of 2,000 there? What's the extra 1,000 for? With non-mortgage debt, you should not have a savings beyond $1,000. With non-mortgage debt, you should not, as I said, have any more savings. You should not be investing yet. If you were already investing when you started Dave's plan, the advice is to stop investing, even a match, and it's just for a hashtag season while you get rid of your debt. And so another thing, it doesn't sound like with $1,400. Especially if it is, just going on I don't want to guess about the situation, but $1,400 a month, that is not that bad. So I don't think the person is living too high on the hog. But yeah, why not 3,000? There's between 1,400 and 4,400. Oh, with OT. So that will affect it there. But yeah, basically it's, other than your $1,400 expenses, every extra cent should be put on the debt, and so sure is. Let's see, 3,800 times 12 is 45,600. So that would be what, a year? Oh, yeah, a year. Yeah, but that's everything. That's not minus the expenses, so that's not helpful. I think you should boost your income to help. Yeah, definitely work that overtime if you can. Overtime in your job is probably going to get you the most money that you could, but rather than getting a part-time job. Says it will take you about 7 years. If you also don't pick up other jobs, you can probably cut it down to 2 to 3 years. Let's check that math here. The person was on the right idea, but they did the whole income a month. Well, closer to 4,400 a month. So let's assume the OT, and so that's 3,000 a month put to it, and so 175 divided by 3 equals 58 months. So divided by 12, which is, yeah, 4.86. So yeah, yeah, to get rid of it faster, you could try to cut and see if there are any expenses you could cut, and also work the OT. And like if you work Monday through Friday and you have some OT in there, but your weekends are free, you could pick up a job on the weekend to get that to happen before that. But otherwise, that is what you're looking at, about 5 years, and that is with you working overtime and bringing home the 4,400. And again, check the expenses, make sure there's nothing that you can't cut out. Also, your bring home pay may be minus investing, and so you could stop investing if you're investing for retirement. You could stop that just for a hashtag season while you pay off this debt. All right, a little water here, a little agua. What up, Aslan? That's by Bapel AJ. Roth 401k and Roth IRA have both TDF. Traditional? What is that? TDF. That's not it. Theater Development Fund. Investment. That was weird. Okay, I'm looking at on the TV. I'm looking at the a target date fund, of course. Dave does not recommend those because those are not aggressive enough. Let's see, the target date, and they may not be less aggressive now, but they are designed to be less aggressive as you get older, and Dave doesn't think there's any need for that. An exception might be, somebody 77 years old called the show yesterday, and they just had their money in a savings account, and Jay Borshaw had a conniption about that. She was very upset about that, but she wasn't thinking fourth dimensionally about how old the couple was. And so, yeah, I mean, realistically, you don't know how their health is. You don't know if they have 5 years even to live. But as you get older, people do think about not going as aggressive. But basically, if you've already been aggressive, why not just leave it in that? But the couple just had all their money in savings, and they did seem to have enough for the both of them to make it. And they did also have some insurance as well. Let's see, some life insurance, so that would help the other the spouse. Let's see, newbie here. Title says, I have a Roth 401k through work and separate Vanguard Roth IRA that I set up before I had a work 401k. Okay, both are target date funds. Looking for insight as to keeping as is or changing the Roth IRA to this Vanguard fund or that Vanguard fund fund. Those are both index funds. I think the VTSAX might be S&P 500 index fund. For retirement, Dave does not recommend index funds. He recommends managed mutual funds. Why? Simply because they can and often do. You just gotta take your time and pick good ones, but they can beat the index. And people say, "Oh, what about the front load? And what about the fees to pay the manager?" And guess what? They can beat the index even after you subtract those as well, those fees. So that is his recommendation, and that would be a four-way split into small, mid, and large cap, and international. So those would be the categories. You would do a four-way split among those categories. And that gives you even more diversification than just any old mutual fund would give you, which is automatic. Because it's not single stocks. Dave does not recommend single stocks. But anyway. If you're starting investing and you're going to start investing and you don't know anything about the market, then sure, do an index fund. That's better than nothing. But you could do better. So you can consult a professional to help you and maybe teach you how to do it. You can learn all the information's on the internet. Every bit of information that you need is on the internet about every mutual fund. And so you could teach yourself how to pick good ones. All right, this from Curious Bumblebee 511. Excluding my mortgage, what time did I start? I started at 8:30, so we'll do doing at least an hour. The Ramsey show may be posted before then, but I'll probably just, since I'm doing it already, I'll just keep doing it. Don't know where to start. Excluding my mortgage, I'm 50K in the hole. That would be that. Where do you start? You start by, like all plans, it starts with step one. $1,000 emergency fund. And then after that, you go to step two. Step two, you'll pay off all your debt. Except mortgage, we don't do that yet. Anyway, you can listen to that baby step song in my music playlist as previously told. There it is right there. And that's youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Right, not sure what my next move should be to start the baby steps. Suggestion, tips, advice. What information do I need to give out so someone can help me with a plan? I love hearing the debt-free screens, but they are always, when I can listen, the married couples bringing in 2 to 3 times more than I do. It's kind of discouraging. Hear that a lot. The Ramsey chat, the Ramsey show chat. They talk about because anytime a couple, especially a single person making 100K or more, a lot of people in there can't relate to it. And so you do have to base your life. You can't compare it to anybody else. You do have to base your life on your income. If you don't think it's enough, make more money. But that would be the thing. You start on step one, get the $1,000 emergency fund, and then step two is you pay off that $50,000, and you do that by working more and spending less. So budget and cut a ton of expenses and work as much as you can. Work overtime at your job. And if you can do it at all, you can get a part-time job, like even if it's like just on the weekends or something like that. You know your income, monthly expenses, budgeting, right? Lifestyle, an income issue, or combination. Almost always combination. Yeah, no simple way out. These 7 steps, I mean, it's not easy to do them, but they are easy in theory. They're easy to understand what to do. But I mean, while you're paying off $50,000 worth of debt, it's not going to feel easy, especially when all your friends are go. One thing is don't go to Starbucks. Don't eat out. Let's see, single and homeowner, pause second bedroom that you could rent out. That's not something everybody's gonna do. Can't do that. Have kids. There you go. Rode the divorce train a few years ago. Okay. And so the answer on the couple or single would be single. A little cash in the bank more than to take care of the small CC balances. Okay, great. I want to say, but we need to double check. I'm pretty sure the loan is at 99.9%. Doesn't matter. Smallest to largest is the Ramsey plan. What is the 50K debt on? Doesn't really matter. If it's a car, 8,500 left. Unless you can get a lot more than that for the car, probably don't need to change it out. Amazon. Credit card 210. I mean, the credit card with $6,600 on it, sure. The personal loan with 10K on it, I don't get the way how people have, they just have a little bit of money on and they don't think to ever pay it off. They have a little bit of money on some cards and they just let it ride. They let it ride and they don't pay it off. Just make the minimum payments. Just shy of 56K. Okay, so it's not 50K, it's 56K. So it's a little bit worse. So let's start selling all that Amazon stuff. That's right. Sell everything. 48. Oh, must have typed maybe 4,800 before. But yeah, you sell everything that you aren't using regularly. Anything that's worth any money, you can sell that. It's going gazelle intense on that debt. You work more, spend less, and you do that by budget. And you cut out any expenses. Try not to justify unnecessary expenses just because you have kids. Yeah, that answers that. But basically, the answer to that is follow the baby steps. Alrighty, this from King Bean 1. King_Bean_1. Debt-free screams beyond income. Is anyone tired of hearing debt-free screams where people will claim to have paid off more than they made in the specified period of time and conveniently leave out the cars or houses they sold or the 80K they already... Okay, well, sometimes all the details don't come out in the interview. They have a specific example. Third hour, April 17, $703,000 in 23 months, making 250, 300K. Yeah, they probably sold some stuff. They showed food rental properties they had. Yeah. So they told you exactly how they did it. So in the reality, they paid off at best 453K in 23 months. Yeah, but it still counts. It still counts. If you sell stuff, even if they are rental properties and you sell it for a lot of money, it still counts. You still put that on the debt. And possibly got rid of some, properties that sold, a few rental properties they had with mortgages. So you sold that, and so you got rid of some of the debt that way as well. It all counts. but you don't get a gold star. Yes, you do. You get a gold star for becoming debt free. You don't get a gold star for going on the Reddit and complaining about stuff like this. There are better things to do with your time. Let's see. How would Dave answer this? This could have been a WWDD flare. What would Dave do flare? Is there any benefit to borrowing enough from a 403B in order to pay off the remainder of a mortgage? Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. As I see it, the answer is no. I see it that way as well. I'm just looking for more reasoning and explanation. My mortgage is all the debt I have left, and I'm just getting impatient, and so I was trying to think of ways to not do the stuff correctly. Yeah, so that often happens. 403B is a government, the government 401k, and basically it is a retirement account, and you do not tap retirement, the only except to avoid foreclosure and bankruptcy or bankruptcy. And so other than that, you don't do that simply because the taxes and penalties are going to take a big chunk of that. And so you never do that except in those two cases if you're facing bankruptcy or foreclosure. But no, I know you're getting impatient. Cut expenses, work more. That's something you can do about it. I know people want to do the thing that where they don't have to really do much work except pay penalties and taxes, because that's not work. But yeah, you could work more. Maybe you got something expensive you could sell. Maybe you have a car you don't need. Anything like that. So yep. And bankruptcy or foreclosure, exactly, just like Dave says. Making awful money decisions due to impatience is beyond silly. Yes, and that's how people get into debt anyway. Alright. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And that's exactly how Dave would answer. Foreclosure or bankruptcy only for tapping retirement. Otherwise, you leave it right there. Now, if you're starting to plan and you're in baby step 2 and you're already investing, you stop investing, but you don't cash out what's there. So I went with a suggested realtor. That gets on my nerves when people say realtor. The A is not behind the L, so it's realtor network from the show. That means a endorsed local provider. They are vetted by the Ramsey team, and they also have investment professionals. They're doing yard work outside. Sounds like something worrying. Where was I? Oh yeah, they have professionals and different. They have realtors, investment professionals, and a couple other things. I think that they vet those people, and supposedly they're supposed to be doing things by the Ramsey book, by his advice. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes people will complain about a SmartVestor Pro, which is the investing professional, and that investing professional will suggest that they do something Dave would not suggest. And the reason would be because they make more money from doing that, which is the case a lot of times. Following Dave's advice, they can't get into the kind of investments that would make them much more money. So you do have to watch that. You have to know enough about it to know if they're doing it wrong or not. I still don't recall the actual name, but it's a bunch of vetted realtors he suggests. Yeah, well, endorse local providers, and that's different services, not just realtors. 1.5 years later, I'm still getting texts from one of them. These texts keep coming even after I told them many times I've changed my mind and I'm no longer searching for a home in his area. You can block the number. They come in about every other month. That's 6 times a year, big deal. But block it, why not? He changed the actual text in the latest one, asking for confirmation. I received an email. It's beginning to feel like harassment. That's not 6 times a year. Isn't that bad? But you don't have to receive it. You can just block them. You can just block their number and block their email. Have it go automatically in your spam folder, and then you don't even see it. So you can, you can take control and control what you can control, or you can complain about it. All right, European uppercut. Interesting. Ramsey community, what brand of suitcase do you own? And may or may not be trying to decide. If I want to buy a 650 Briggs & Riley carry-on suitcase, higher quality, buy it for life, lifetime warranty. Price seems steep, but if I never have to buy another suitcase again, ... justification station. Anyway, I've asked for luggage feedback elsewhere on Reddit, but I trust this group more than I know. What suitcases do you own in Ramsey community? Am I insane for considering Briggs and Riley? No, and it depends on what baby step you're on. If you're on at least 4, also you have to think, how much traveling do you do? If you make 1 trip a year, if you need to use it 1 time a year, probably not going to be worth it, even if you are on, baby step 4. But if you think it's really necessary, you can put it in your budget and just cash flow it then. It's from Lawfulness. Debt. Dave, Dave does not read this. This is not run by Ramsey Solutions. This is run by fans. They do seem to be fairly decent people. They let me post the link for the Baby Step song on here, but I got no response when I did my second one, which was the Deloney song. So, but I don't take that personally. I just moved on with my life after that. But this is not run by Dave or his company. My wife and I have continued our plan for the last 2 years with some hiccups along the way. 327,000 down to 279,000. Hopefully, all now student loan debt. Mortgage of 170,000 that we paid down from 190 in 4 years. 20,000 in 4 years is $5,000 a year. Beep, beep, beep. Well, you're addressing your debt, so that's where most of it should go. 327 down to 279, so that's 52. Is my math right there? Yeah, 52,000 in 2 years, so it's 25,000 a year. So yeah, 25,000 a year on 200,000. So unless you have too much house, which it doesn't seem like, maybe expenses are more, revisit budget. All right, let's see. I have a life insurance policy that my parents had in place that has grown to $23,000 of surrendered value that we've taken over monthly payments. Okay. Should this be used against our debt or continue to accrue until 65 years of age? If you're taking cash for it, it's not accruing unless you're kind of talking about taking that cash and investing it. And no, if you're getting cash, for a whole life policy. I wonder why you didn't take the lump sum. But yeah, that should be using any extra money is put to whatever baby step you're on. And in your case, you're in baby step 2. And so that would be it. I've heard on your show advising to slow down retirement account funding to put money towards debt. Not just slow down, stop it completely. But wasn't sure about life insurance. Again, any extra money beyond your expenses, which you can also look at those to see if you can cut anything. Any extra money goes to whatever baby step you're on, which is baby step 2. Also, what are your thoughts on life insurance policies for newborns? Is this something that would be considered a budget cut? A daughter 9 months old, and we're curious if life insurance is important enough to have in our budget. Life insurance is if someone is dependent upon your income. So the newborn does not have an income, so does not need life insurance. So, I mean, some people want to have a little bit for burial, but you could always cash flow that, as morbid as it is. But yeah, so that's not necessary, and that is an expense you can cut out because you don't need that. You do need life insurance policies on yourself and your wife, both. And that needs to be for 10 times your income. So that way it generates your income in the event of death. LOL. This is from Ptarmigan Ridge Trail, a frequent poster. Not in the past few times that I've done the Reddit commenting, but when I used to do it a lot more. I see. Did Ramsey to stand outside pearly gates and judge people based on how well they budgeted? All right. They think that's funny. Baby step 4 to 6 flare there. Emergency fund. It's from Cisco versus Julian. I wonder who wins most of the time. 98. Cisco versus Julian, 98. Emergency fund is the title. So I'm working on my step 1 of saving $1,000 from my emergency fund. That is, you're doing it correctly. That is step 1. Where's the best place to keep my emergency fund? Regular savings account. Yes, high yield, not a high yield CD because it's locked in CDs. Been indecisive about these options. Yeah, and especially since it's just 1,000, you're not gonna make that much on it anyway. Just a couple bucks. So yeah, just regular savings. You need to have it liquid somewhere you can get to it immediately in the case of an emergency. That's from Ptarmigan Ridge again. I assume the P is silent there. He was on the Fox News and found a great piece. Helped Americans with money problems for decades. Parents should not pay their adult children's bills. They had a call the previous week, I think, about that, and there's a highlight on YouTube on the highlight Dave Ramsey Ramsey Solutions highlight channel, Ramsey Show highlight channel. Parents should not pay their adult children. Nearly half of all Americans are paying their grown kids' bills. That's interesting. There's nearly half. Mom and Dad, watch out! And the safety net has turned into a hammock. Sorry, can't get the link to work. You probably can't put links in the... Oh, well, there's a link there. Don't know why the link wouldn't work. But yeah, and generally, children need to fly. You can still love them. You can even give them monetary gifts from time to time, but paying their bills on a regular basis... I think you need to let them be adults. Let's see. Obi-Wan, W-A-H. Obi-Wan, I think it's a Wan, like crying. Obi-Wan Kenobi. General Kenobi. Does Dave realize that the majority of credit unions have generous programs to avoid PMI altogether? Well, if you can do that without it being, let's see what he, oh no, doesn't, no further details, but he doesn't take the more effective approach by just going with credit unions or banks that avoid PMI. If you can avoid the PMI without it costing you extra money, anyway, like you don't want to avoid the PMI, but then get charged a fee by the bank for that same thing. So it depends on what the fine print is. Oh, 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 the fine print. Boom. Time is it? Go about 15 minutes more here. Let's see. Smart conference in Chicago. Thought I'm in the Chicago area. I might check it out. What is up with these prices? Do people really pay this much? I think 79 isn't bad, but 27.50 to have dinner with Dave. Oh my God! I can do that. That's not for people on step 1, or even 2, or even 3. That is a step 4 and beyond. And I wouldn't pay that much unless I was in step 7. So, um, not all, a lot of celebrities do this, like comedians and musicians have meet and greets after the show sometimes, and those cost extra as well. So this is no different. Uh, and so it's up to you to be smart enough to not do that if you are not on at least baby step 4. But again, for me, it's probably going to be more like baby step 7 to spend that kind of money. Jimbo 1039, baby step 3 flare, which is save 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses in an emergency fund. And they have an emergency fund question. When you get a baby step 3, does everyone keep a baby step 1 fund plus baby step 3 fund, or is it just baby step 3 at that point? It's just baby step 3 at that point. Your $1,000, you add to your $1,000, and that becomes baby step 3. So it's not $1,000 plus 3 to 6 months of expenses. But I mean, if you want to have that around, you could do, because it's 3 to 6 months, and that's everybody's individual choice. 3 is fine if you don't have any life or job drama. 3 months is just fine. So you could have the 3 months plus $1,000 if you wanted to, because that would be in between 3 and 6 months. So the dealio is he wants it maxed out at 6 months of expenses just sitting in a bank, which you can put in a high yield savings account just as long as you have immediate access to it. You can make some money on that money, but he wants that to be liquid. And let's see. I lost my train of thought. I have dementia, according to Sid. Let's see. Too short to buy. Did I do this or not? Purchasing home with personal and business funds. Well, you run the business, so you can take out whatever money you want from the business. Probably not a good idea. But the person's research seems to indicate it's okay to use business funds for partial purchase if the home was being designated for business or partially. Okay. I would be paying cash, and 70% of the funds would be coming from personal and 30% business. Paying cash is good. The home would be primarily used for seeing clients, like a retreat, but I'm sure I would use some for personal, obviously. Maybe 10 years down the road, it will become primarily personal. Okay, anybody have experience with this thing? I don't have any experience with that, but if it's your business, you can take any, you can expense it. And if you are seeing, I mean, it sounds like this is going to be a secondary home, and you're going to pay cash for it. Um, wouldn't do that if you have a mortgage on your other residence, then. Um, Other than that, I don't know what the home would be primarily used for seeing clients. So if you're living there, that's automatically going to take most of the time. It's not going to be primarily used for seeing clients. So that means, yeah, use some for personal. So this is the second home. So again, not advised if you don't have your first mortgage paid off. But generally, it's your business. You can do that, and you can, if you actually are using it to see clients, you could probably have that as a deduction as well. Yep, this one. I think we talked about this one, or we did that at the Smart Conference. Dave addressed um, people saying $1,000 isn't enough for emergency fund these days with inflation, with blah 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 blah. And Dave said, sure, it wasn't enough in 35 years ago either. It's not meant to be enough. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be scared. It's supposed to prompt you to be gazelle intense about paying off your debt. Did we do this one? How can a single income afforded house with Dave rules? That means you don't buy in that area, maybe. You got to make more money to buy a house in whatever area you're looking at. Or you got to have a larger down payment, and it's going to take longer. Sorry. Let's see. Dave says pay 20% down. First time home buyer, he's fine with you paying 10% down, but you are going to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance, and that's insurance for the loan company, not for the homeowner. Get a 15-year fix with mortgage no more than quarter of your take-home pay. Right. That way you can have the house and the house doesn't have you, as Dave said. 20% down, matter of saving up, right? But when a quarter of your take-home pay is around $1,100 to $1,200, how can you get a house? I did house calculator. Ramsey said 205K is how much house I can get. Well, there you go. Well, the only houses I can find for that are shells that probably would need torn down to be torn down, or at least a complete interior remodel and new roof siding. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you got to move. You got to look outside. You got to look outside of whatever area you're talking about, suburbs, etc., etc. Or you save up more. You save up more than 20%. Save up enough down payment where it takes the payment on the amount you have to get the mortgage for down to a quarter of it. Where you live does not change the advice. You don't get a pass on math in California, for example. I like to call it Taxifornia. 15 thing is stupid. You can get a 30-year mortgage and pay it off like a 15. How many people do you think do that? This person lives in Ohio. How many? A coastal county. Yeah. Yeah. Go inland and the prices will be cheaper. So, yeah. Move. Move or take longer to save up more money so that you are not house poor by buying that. So, I'm sure some of the 403 comments, I'm sure some people told them, oh, you can get a 30, you can do it with 50% of your, have the mortgage payment be 50% of your income. That's fine. Yeah, you get people, I mean, just like anything, I guess. Any public figure, anything, you're going to get people that love it and seek out communities and subreddits that are about whatever that thing is that you're into. But you're also going to have people that hate it and they spend their time, at least partially, which all of it's a waste. Like if they don't like Dave Ramsey's advice, they're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit just so they can post they don't like his advice or opposite advice of him. And so I don't know. I don't understand. I don't chase things that I don't like and make sure people know I don't like them. I chase things that I do like. So saying seems to be a better way to do things. Selling car to eliminate this from JL7795. Selling car to eliminate high payment and buying cash car. That is normally a good idea. If you have any kind of high payment, because that will negatively affect your baby steps. $860 payment. That's going to negatively affect your baby steps. Has anyone tried this? How to work out? I have an $860 payment that's killing us. My loneliness is killing me and I. Were you able to get a loan to cover the difference? It depends on your credit score. If a bank will and your debt to income ratio, whether they can do that or not. We're not we're with the apostrophe there. That's we are. We're. It's were without the apostrophe there. You're able to find a good used beater for cash. I didn't sell a car, but I did find a good used beater for cash. Here, Dave talking about this, but wonder if it will really work. Of course it will. Of course it will. You can get a used car for maybe 3, 4, even if it's 5 times the amount of this payment. That basically pays for itself in 5 months. So, but yeah, the loan to cover the difference. A lot of people don't understand. That's how you do it if you're underwater, and that's what he's talking about. To cover the difference, that means it has depreciated enough, and this is why Dave tells you to not buy new cars because it has depreciated so much that he can't even sell it without being underwater in it. Where you find a good car, they exist. Since the Pandy, they aren't as plentiful, but they are still out there. Just gotta look. But yeah, people don't realize that. And Dave is fine with you can't talk with you replacing your $860 payment car loan with a much smaller loan. He's fine with you doing that. And then of course you're still on baby step 2 and you still paid that loan off as well, smallest to largest. Time we got here, almost time. Let's see if the other ones. HOA fees too high. We did this one, I believe. Alrighty. What did I want to say here? Baby steps. Let's check to see if show is posted for today. It is not. Let's make sure. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's posted. Alrighty. Let's see, once again, music playlist, youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. That's this channel you're on right now. And you scroll down the music playlist and you can hear the Baby Step song, John Deloney song, and see me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the Baby Step song. I mean, the John Deloney song. And of course, the Rachel Cruz song. Music by Elton John and Bernie Taupin. What what did I want to do? Plugs, which are at the end of this video, and pause. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me about coaching or anything on my channel, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. And of course, again, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Have a good morning or relevant day part.